All right, Arena Anthologies. They're finally here. Sooner than we expected because apparently it's about to come out tomorrow. So let's take a look. Let's just cut to the cards that we're gonna get. So apparently we're getting two anthologies, Anthology 1 and Anthology 2, that's going to be released tomorrow. The first anthology is a little bit underwhelming, but I'm guessing this is only for Brawl. The swords, we got all the swords now. They are a little bit underpowered for Timeless and even for Historic at this point. The Signets are going to be only for Brawl purposes. They're not going to be played anywhere else. And then we got Talisman. If you are not already bored of playing against Eldrazi's every single game in Historic, well, I have a little bit of a bad news for you because now, well, Eldrazi's are going to be even more powerful. They're going to have the exact same list that they do in modern format. So like I said, Arena Anthology 1, a little bit disappointing, but that's why we have Anthology 2 as well. So now we are at the fun part. There's a lot of good cards here that you might be excited about. We have Damn. Pretty fantastic card, honestly, because you can overload it for 4 mana and then destroy all the creatures on the battlefield. Fantastic card. And we also have Oust. Not going to be playable in Timeless, but it's going to be playable in Historic as a means of getting rid of a creature. Because White just doesn't have creature removal spells that doesn't give them a card. So even though it's a sorcery spell, it is a way to get rid of like a dangerous threat. So definitely not bad. And we got Life and Death. So this is another reanimate spell that you can cast using your life equal to the mana value that you're trying to reanimate. But you can also make your lands as a 1/1 creatures to attack that turn as well. So, but this is definitely going to give reanimate decks redundancy in Timeless, since now you have both reanimate and death at the same time. So this should definitely bring some life to reanimate strategy to Timeless potentially. Empty the Warren. I'm not really sure about this card, so I can't really say for sure, but I don't think this one is going to probably make a splash. There's other better Storm cards out there, and I don't think Goblin decks would be playing this. Flame Slash, 1 mana deal 4, pretty good for Historic. In Timeless, we have 1 mana deal 6 if you're in Delirium, and it's also at instant speed. Fiery Confluence, really good against like artifact decks because you can choose the same mode 3 times, destroy artifact 3 times, or deal 2 damage to each opponent 3 times. You can even do 3 mana board wipe or 2 mana board wipe and destroy another artifact. Very flexible, but obviously very expensive. It's a 4 mana card. And then we have Mana Leak, which is pretty good in Historic format. Not going to be very impactful in Timeless, I believe. And we have a Dot Scour. So this is a card that I've been kind of asking for a lot. As an instant speed draw card and mill 2 cards. Very good for certain type of decks that want graveyard count. So I think this is definitely a welcome addition. And very good in Historic because now you might be able to play a little bit more Oculus style decks, which could become definitely relevant now that the counter spell has been unbanned. And then we have Grist the Hunger Tide. Wow. You can collect the company into this because this is also a creature when it's not in the battlefield. Potential like Samai's Gamgee decks that aren't playing like Loris. Very good in Yawgmoth, especially because they also play Cauldron and you can inherit the ability for that. So definitely a very good addition. Was asking for this a lot when I used to play Historic before Timeless. And Renin 6. Renin 6. Wow. I cannot believe this is here when Strip Mine is legal in Timeless format. And this actually might bring Jund into life, kind of. Very scary card because it's now introducing this Planeswalker that deals 1 damage to creatures in Historic. And when Renin 6 was first introduced in Modern, people were saying that 1 toughness creatures were dead, kind of jokingly. That's the kind of impact this card will have in Historic. But in Timeless, we have Strip Mines that you can get back, which might actually make Jund a thing, potentially. So definitely this is a card that you want to watch out for. Very, very strong card. Eternal Witness. You can get back a Strip Mine, but there's definitely better cards for that called the Wary Zone Guard, which only costs 1 green pip. But there are some applications where this could be better than Wary Zone Guard if you're looking to potentially like blink this multiple times. So that's where like this card becomes really, really strong compared to Wary Zone Guard. And not to mention, you can get back any target card you want, not just lands, right? So definitely has some applications where this card can become really good. So definitely a welcome addition. A Trinket Mage. So this is a card that tutors for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less. The thing is, we have a card that just came out that does this but better, which is Tezzeret. So I don't think this card will be played at all. Maybe potentially in, Brawl or something like that to increase that redundancy. But in Constructed, probably not going to see play. All right, so next card is Triplicate Titan. And this is another card that's not really going to see play in Historic or Timeless. You can reanimate this, sure, but there's way better cards to reanimate, and the dying effect will almost never trigger because of all the exile effects in Timeless format. And even in Historic, there's better cards to reanimate, in my opinion. So yeah, a little bit of a random one, and definitely I don't think it's a good slot for the Karn as well. So moving on, Mother of Runes. So this is definitely a card that's going to make Historic a little bit miserable. If you thought Giver of Runes was annoying enough, well, Mother of Runes can target itself. Definitely a very, very annoying card. Unfortunately, in Timeless, Death and Taxes style deck, a little bit viable, I guess, but we still don't have Ether Vial. And yes, I have checked already if the Ether Vial is in the artifact section, and unfortunately, there is not. A little bit of a spoiler there, so there we go. Baragoyf is on another welcome addition to Timeless. Kind of gets around like Graveyard Exile effects because even if like a Leyline of Void is on play, you can still mill cards and still get a card out of it. Kind of effective when you're trying to look for something. If a creature can actually get rid of a Leyline of Void, things like that. You mill something like a Brazen Borrower, right? That can bounce the Leyline Void. So those are the kind of things that you can expect from this card. And being a 3-mana card means that you can, Dark Ritual into it, things like that. So definitely like not a main deck all-star, but it can be pretty good in sideboard. Pyrogoyf, this is another card that I've been kind of talking about in Mono Red Prison videos that I've made. This is definitely a good addition to the Mono Red Prison, but I believe if the Bombardier was added instead, I'd be more happy about it. Just because that one's a 3-mana card, this is a 4-mana card. It still might not be enough because, what is this Pyrogoyf going to grow into? Maybe like 4 power, 5 power on average. So that still might not be enough to push the Mono Red Prison, in my opinion. But if you go like Gruul, maybe you can potentially push it with the Mink Skin Boo and Pyrogoyf as your top end threat. Pretty good. Rofello's Llanowar Emissary. I don't know why they put this here. Like, this is not a good card. I guess they put it here for brawl purposes. I think that's the only thing I can think of. And even as a commander card, there's definitely better cards than this. And next up, we got Ignoble. Pretty cool card. Pretty cool card. I don't think this is going to like push like Jund too much. Like maybe like you play like 2 of because you already have a Deathray Shaman. But maybe in something like Goblins, a Gruul Goblins combo deck. Goblins are missing that 1-drops at the moment. They only have 1-drop. So if you add Ignoble Hierarch, now we might be talking. The Goblin combo deck can win on like turn 3 or something like that. And now we got Control Magic. Not going to make any splash. I guess it's for Brawl. And now we finally get our white artifact land that I've been waiting for forever. Wow. So it is finally here. Now we can go Azorius artifact with this card, which is really good because now we can play like Portable Hole, things like that. Just a really good card. And next up, we have Pyrite's Spellbomb. So this is another card that's kind of been missing from like a colorless combo deck that's been kind of going around at the moment because the colorless really needs a colorless card that can answer threats a little bit early. And we got Currency Converter. We don't really have a support for this outside of a Faithless Looting. It's definitely a fun card, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. And now we get to Mox Opal. Oh my god. I've been waiting for this card forever because now we can completely ditch Chrome Mox. Yes! No more Chrome Moxes. Because the Chrome Mox, although it was kind of, it was okay, but in Affinity, it was just not good since a lot of cards that you play are artifact cards. So what you can exile with the Chrome Mox were very limited. So having something like a Mox Opal now is going to fix that issue. And this is actually going to enable a lot of different decks, right? So definitely a great addition. So that is all of the anthology, and this is going to release tomorrow. So I have to actually hurry up and release this video. But yeah, very exciting news. I wish they would do this more often. And I hope they do this more often because this is very, very exciting for historic fans and timeless fans, right? So yeah, hope to see more of these in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.